ESPN 1400, it's the Beyond. Welcome everybody, Kevin, Clint, and how about this, Neil Smith on the bench. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
I'm still on the bench, Kev.
I know it. I know it. No, but you see, you did some time off the bench. That's the difference between you and us.
Yeah, we never got off.
We're still on it.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
It sucks sometimes.
Well, we got used to it, but
well, you know, you get used to it. But you know what? If you work harder, as hard as you guys work in this radio thing, you get off the bench.
I like that.
I don't know what he told.
Huh?
What they told him about our show. That we didn't work harder.
Well, first of all, welcome to Springfield.
Thank you, man. Thank
Pretty
you
cool.
much.
You know, you got a lot of fans here. I mean, I know you probably know that, but there's a lot of, you know, Neil Smith fans, a lot of Chiefs fans.
Well, you know, I didn't know that, but it's good to know that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm here, you know, want everybody to come on out.
Absolutely.
Like to see them.
And you're talking about, when you say come on out, you're talking about tomorrow night you're going to be hanging out here in Springfield for a major event. It's called Mystique.
Yes.
This is really cool. This is a deal. It's like a New York, like a Milan type of fashion show. And it's also a benefit for the BCFO. And that's cool that you're involved with that. And you're going to be there.
Absolutely. I would love to see everybody here in Springfield. If you're my fan, if there's that many people, I like to see them pack the place up because I think it's going to be a great occasion. And as a matter of fact, I look at, you know, my nephew and my son, you know, they provide the music for them, and they've been working hard. You know, these the hard young guys have been putting it together and trying to, you know, get their music out there and doing some positive things in Kansas City. So they threw me in the car and brought me down. So you guys excuse my voice, you know, because I'm actually don't talk like this, but my voice is gone from traveling a lot. So
right. Well,
you've been to be here.
I want to talk about one of the things that you were doing recently, but you talk about your son and your nephew. Are they with you today?
Yes, Just Tone Production. They actually they're going to be here tomorrow night, and they're going to be, you know, they're the ones to provide all the music for the show.
Great.
And it's a great deal.
Do you ever get in there and jam with them or anything?
Well, you know, I just love music. You
right.
know, I'm from a music background, family. You know, raised in church and you know, sung in church choirs and stuff like that. Brother was a minister of music, but I've always been around music. I've always had a love variety of music. Most of my friends, believe it or not, are country.
Is that right?
Friends. Yeah, you know,
That's
Hank Williams.
yeah.
That's cool. And Toby and all those guys. Travis Trent, and I had a chance last week down in saw Kid Rock down in Dallas to hang out with him. So,
right.
Yeah, so I get around all kinds of ways, man.
Well, the music and the show that we've been talking about, the Mystique event, is at Pythian Castle also, which is a really cool historical place, and you're going to love it. I think when you see it, you don't see too many buildings like that anymore.
We used to break into it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When you were a kid?
Wow. Yeah. No. We
yesterday?
I played college football. Not anything.
You look awfully young. It wasn't too long ago.
No, but it feels like it was. But our practice field was right up against the Pythian Castle, and we would break in there because the school I went to, you couldn't like even make out with a chick without getting in trouble.
Right.
So we had to go someplace with this giant empty
or make out with
building.
anybody for that matter.
Yeah, make out with anybody.
Right.
I'm not trying to just keep
clear.
it safe.
Right.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I love stories. You know what I'm saying? So when you come out to the event, you got to come with a great story. And when I walked through the door, it's a Sandra that I met. She said she met me so many years ago.
Right.
When back in the early '90s, and she said she brought, you know, this Rush Hour poster that me and the late Derek Thomas signed for her when the son was just born, and that's been over 20-something years, you know.
Wow.
So it was touching to hear stories like that.
Yeah.
But it makes you seem like you've been somewhere, you know, and you really touch people's lives, even in small towns.
Yeah, and you have, man. I mean, everybody that we've talked about, you know, that you're going to be in town this weekend and going to be on the bench. They're real pumped up about it.
Yeah.
You were at the Super Bowl. What was that like, being there, you know, not playing, but being there, being a part of the action kind of off the field?
Well, you know what? I enjoy it because, just like everybody else, you know, if you're not going to the game, if you're not part of it, you look forward to those commercials.
You weren't one of the 1,250 people that didn't get the seat, were
well,
you?
I feel sorry for those people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
I really do, but, you know, everything right now in life, it almost seems like it ends with a lawsuit for some kind of way.
Sure.
And I don't know if Jerry should have found a way. You know, I thought the great scenario was you had only 300 or 400 people. You know, you have 300 or 400 suites there.
Yeah.
Hey, put each one of them in a suite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, special guests.
Yep.
You know, we had a little problem with the ticket. People would understand that more better than, you know, not going to the game and having a seat.
Right.
Period. And boy, I tell you, it's become a big mess for the for the league and also Jerry, because he's my idol, man. You know, I'm a big Cowboy fan, and I always been one. So But I'm sure they'll work it out. But overall experience was great,
Yeah.
man. I mean, you know, the way they do the Super Bowl, there's the NFL experience that they have down there.
It's huge. Yeah, it's
the event. If you've never been, you know, if it come even close to where you are, I would definitely go and grab that experience because it's an enlightening thing now.
And it's a lot bigger and you know, just bigger and I don't know, better. I guess I don't know, better maybe maybe it's better depending on how you look at it, but so much bigger for sure than it was even when you were in the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't that long ago, but I mean, it just keeps getting huge. This event where you know the game isn't secondary, I'm going to say, right. But from a kind of just a pop culture point of view, you know.
Oh, it is. I mean, he brings out all the stars, all the ex-presidents,
right.
You know, in different times and you go to all these events, they got so many events that are going on. I mean, it's not just a party here; it's a party everywhere. And everybody, and if you get in one, you guarantee to bump into somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I happen to, you know, I was at a Pam Anderson party, and you know, you just run into everybody now.
Man, did we get that invitation?
Megan Fox. Man,
I got it.
You got the Pam
Anderson
party invitation? I didn't.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So everybody got parties. So it's just one of those things. You just up all the time,
right.
all night. And,
yeah, it's a week-long thing. I mean,
yeah,
it just goes and goes
absolutely.
and goes and doesn't stop.
Wow, and then well, it's pretty cool to have you here. But you're two-time Super Bowl. You're not wearing them. You don't have the rings.
Well, you know, I do have one. I have one more. I don't have them both with me. I did bring one.
Right.
Anytime I go to a special occasion, I always bring one out, and it's not, you know, it's not to throw it in the Chief fans' face, you know.
Oh
it's
no,
just
yeah,
that,
yeah.
You know, it's when you move and you go to other places, you know, it's opportunities.
Yeah.
And I laid it on the line for the Chiefs. I tell you. I think I was crazy when I played. I was born here. I feel like I was born here because I was drafted here, and I played many hard years here, and I left it on the line good enough to try to make it and to win it.
Yeah.
It'd have been nice,
right.
But I chose Kansas City as home, you know, because it's where my it's where my family and my kids. And,
right.
I love Kansas City.
Well, you know, and a lot of Kansas City fans, I'm not being facetious, you know, live vicariously through the players who go on to win Super Bowls, sometimes in other places, because it's been a while. But what do you think about this team that they're putting together? Have you been watching? And you know, they made it to the playoffs this year. How do you think they're looking over the next couple of years?
I don't think anyone was expecting this.
Yeah.
You know, this so quick. You know, they were putting together, and you know, almost like a sophomore type of team. But yet they doing it all the right ways. You know, they changing it to getting the young guys to play. You know, I think a little more mixture of veteran type of players. You know, they can get to that edge.
Right.
Someone that's actually been there. But they doing good. I think they're on the right track. And you know, I think this year, last year, excuse me, was a test.
Right.
But if they play football this year, you know, it's going to be a real big test because they have a real hard schedule.
Right.
To bear and to get back, then I think that they'll know. You know, you just don't want to be in a playoff. You want to go and win it because once you're in that tournament, it's anybody's game.
Sure, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If you're hot at that time,
that's when you want to be right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it happened like, you know, it's happened before. It could definitely happen to them. I think they're pretty close.
So let me see this. You go to the Super Bowl, and maybe it doesn't happen necessarily at the Super Bowl, but you're watching the Chiefs on TV. You're following just the league itself. You still get the itch to get in there?
Sometimes,
really?
You know, I think sometimes when you're sitting there, you put yourself in those places, and you figure like, man, what would I did in that? Here's what I would have did, you know.
Yeah.
And then you sit there, and all the time it's in your head that you critique a play. You know, you put yourself in that situation. So, you know, it comes and goes, man. But you know, as far as you get older, you just get farther away from the game, and you sit back and you more or less enjoy it.
Sure.
But when I first got out, man, I swear, I'm like, man, I can still do this. You know, it's mentally, it's still in your head. That you can still do it.
Is that tough? Like because we've seen, I mean, the death resurrection of Brett Favre so many times now. He's in, he's out. And
only Brett can do that. First of all,
really,
yeah. Because if anybody would say, "Hey Neil, you know you can come back today," I would. But they would laugh at me.
well, I want to ask about what's his name?
Herschel. Yeah, Herschel Walker's talking about. He's 50? I don't know how old he is, but he's talking about. I don't know that he's serious about it.
I mean, if a guy did, I mean, for heaven's sakes, he did ballet. Excuse me.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
You know, I mean, any guy can dance on his toes or whatever. You know, stay in good shape, and you know what? He good.
Yeah,
you never know.
Good.
That temptation, though, as soon as you're out, to go back in, is that
the hardest part?
Is it really?
It is. It is the hardest. It's just like reality setting in all too soon. You know, you were hoping that it would be gradually, you know, getting to that, but not there. I mean, it just you sit there and you're like, man, you just like, what I'm gonna do now? What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do you know? Like, how do you just say it's time?
Oh, well, your body will tell you.
Really?
Yeah. If your body don't tell you, if the teams don't want you, and then they actually got us like, hey, you know, it's time.
Right.
But I think your body would know if a guy, you know, I was crazy, man. I thought I could make every play. You know, that's why I played to a high level, and I don't think I can ever go back and not just go through the motions.
Sure.
You know, that's when you get hurt. And
yeah, you got to have your full attention,
absolutely.
obviously.
So, but you know, it's good sometimes when you're back away from the game and how I prepare for the game. I study so much. I study my opponent. I know his ins and outs. I know everything about, you know, formations and what they was in, their tendencies. Everything that I did prepared-wise, it took me that whole week to get prepared. It was just like homework every day. Right. But, you know, the good thing about it is the fans, they enjoy just, you know, us getting after it. But the preparation, you know, towards the work and what you put into it's a lot. It's a lot going into one football game. Yeah. And then, you know, those games you play in your head, you know, and you have to relive it as you're going.
Right.
And, you know, what the play that's been called, and then you see their formation, and then you know what you did with a guy in front of you. I mean, it's crazy, man. And it's like a chess game going on all at one time. Yeah. But then for one freaking play, you got to go do it again next second. So
yeah, I don't think the normal fans like us or whatever, you know, I think about how much work it takes. I mean, you know, can they just see the game once a week? People watch the game, but you know, the repetition and the work that's involved, and you know, it's crazy. And now they're talking about doing 18 games, possibly.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if they do, you know, they got to pay those guys. You know, they got guys currently under contracts, and they have to. You know, they have to come to some type of term that, you know, you can't just add 2 games.
Right.
You pay them 2 games salary. You think the players won't go for that?
Yeah, exactly. Because you got to think about it. All the owners, the money that they make in preseason games, that's their money. You know, the players don't really make any money in preseason.
Right.
So, and they're gonna add 2 more. That's just not right. I think it's time to step up. You know, right now, man. I mean, from right now. When the difference of the money in 10 years, right, and the difference of money where it's going now, it's crazy, man. The guys all have to do is get drafted, and be in the first round, the first 3 rounds.
Well, I know
and it's set for life, you know.
And that's one of the things that they're going to be looking at. We're talking with Neil Smith right now on the bench, ESPN 1400. One of the things they're looking at, I guess, in these talks that I guess broke down yesterday. I don't know if with the NFL and the players, you know, is how much money rookies ought to get paid, and anyway, there's some other stuff on the table too that they're going to be looking at. Do you think there's going to be you think it's going to shut down?
Well, I don't know. I know certain things that they can agree with, and I think the rookie salary cap is great.
Right.
I mean, here you got veteran guys that's been in the league, you know, 4 or 5 years, and that's proven, you know, to the game. And then you have a rookie that's come off, you know, straight out of college, which is proven in college, or not, he wouldn't be there. I was one of those guys. But it's a process once you get there and be drafted, and the big adjustment. Some adjust quicker than others,
right,
you know, and then some it takes a while. But to give them that type of salaries the way they're giving out now, I think the rookie cap, you know, it only makes so much sense.
Yeah, it seems logical.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, you know, one of the things you used to do that a lot of people remember is after you made a sack, and you made a lot of sacks, you had a certain thing that you did that was pretty cool, kind of a sort of a sack dance, I guess you might call it. Maybe not by today's standards, a dance, but a celebration. Where did you get that?
Well, I mean, I was young and I was vibrant and want to give something, you know, to the fans, and I was like, man, I'm getting these sacks, and these people they're not feeling me.
Sure.
You know, I just wanted to give somebody something, you know, to take back with them, and I was sitting down one I think it was Monday night. We was getting ready to play the Raiders, and I was sitting down. It was easy to get up for those games.
Right, sure.
But I was sitting down and watching Johnny Carson one night, and Johnny Carson, you remember old Johnny, would hit that, you know, he would hit a punchline on a joke, and drum roll would go, and then he did this little swing, and
like a golf.
When I saw that, I'm like,
yeah.
And then boom, that's it. That's it. You know, I never played golf then, but then when I seen him do the golf swing, well, my very first one was a golf swing.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, and then I picked it up. You know, like anything else, the meteor picks up on stuff, and you want to know. And that day, I went out and I had 4 that night. It was a 4 night. It was a good day. So yeah, we don't get hat tricks. We get a 4,
right.
You know, 1 or 2 or 0.
Absolutely.
But it was a good day. But nevertheless, I got that, and boy, I tell you, I was excited about bringing it to me. I goes there to the media to do the interviews, and then the media say, "Hey, what was that you was doing?" You know, and before I can answer, a guy says, "Is that a contributor to George Brett? You know, he just hit his 3,000 hit." And I said, "Yeah, you know, might as well. You know, you jump on." I said, "Yeah, you know, tell George I'm gonna get 3,000 sacks in my career." And you know what? I ended up like 1012, so 104, something like that. So I'm so far away from you know, breaking George's record. Yeah. So that's why, you know, George got a bridge over from one side, right. I-70 to that side, and I got nothing. I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Well, it's cool, and it's definitely memorable, you know, today. A lot of Chiefs fans, you know, look back and just love those days, and it's cool that you're still in KC.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
And it's great to have you on the bench. It's at the event, again, somebody wants to go. I know tonight is the night, tomorrow night's the night at the Pythian Castle. It's called Mystique. It's going to be, I mean, the music you mentioned already, Neil, it's going to be like really cool. And then, of course, the fashion show is going to be like New York style, Milan style.
You walking in that, by the way?
No, man, no one told me anything about walking. I walk in, meet and greet. And, you know, and shake hands. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's good.
It's going to be
That's all they want.
I don't like surprises. You know, I didn't know I had an interview today.
Button, yeah.
Oh, well, this is a surprise then.
Well, this is a surprise, man, to come in and meet you guys.
Did you get to eat anything while you were here around town?
No, I slept all the way here, man.
Did you?
Anytime you get a chance to sleep,
Sure.
I slept all the way here.
Well, I'm sure. Well, look, you know, appreciate you waking up and hopping on the bench this morning. We appreciate it.
All right, man.
Neil
I'm
Smith.
off the bench. I appreciate it.